Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome back to Kick It with Kendall. Glad you're joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, today we have a simple little project. Right here, I have a dump trailer right here that has some boards that go across the top, just to kind of protect it if you're dumping dirt or something over the edge, that in case you hit the top rail accidentally with the bucket, that you're not damaging your trailer, you're just hitting the wood, easily replaceable. So let me show you right here what we're going to do to protect the boards from just the elements, the sun, the rain, things like that. Right here, you can see the one on that side over there, it has already been, I'm not going to say it's stained. Basically, we're going to do a 50% diesel fuel and used motor oil mixture, and we will roll it on. And you can see I've already done it to that one. This one right here, it has not been done yet. So I'm going to walk you through this in case you want to do it. I do this same procedure to all my fence posts and fence around the property and the top rails to just protect it through the elements. It's super easy to do it. It's super cheap to do it, and it protects as good as any, stain or something like that you might buy at the store. The ones that you buy at the store have the same type of protection as far as keeping it safe from the elements. However, you don't know what's in those things, as it drips a little bit or whatnot. I think the oil is a little bit more natural to the earth versus whatever chemicals they're putting in the other stuff. And this is cheap and it seems to work really well for me. So I'm going to walk you through this process, and if you want to do it to your stuff, just be careful. Obviously we don't want to drip anything, just to keep things as clean as possible. But let's take this board off of here and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I've got the board ready to go, and now right over here is where I have my mixture already made up. I do this on my like my flatbed trailer. You can see right here I have a mop in here, and I just mop it on to that. But this doesn't need the mop because it's a much smaller project. I'm going to use just a roller like this. But we'll stick this here. I like to get it as close to my work as possible. Make sure it's good and mixed up in here. And again, this is just a 50-50 mixture right now. 50% diesel fuel, 50% used motor oil. If you do your own kind of oil changes, you can just keep that and use it for something like this. It takes a little bit longer to dry than regular stain or something like that, but it does soak in and it really protects the wood nice. I've had the fence up around my yard for probably 7 years and looks great. It's out in the elements in the winters around here. We get a lot of snow, and still working just like it did the day we put it on. I do have to apply it. I try to put it on every year to get some more in here. And I like to put it on a little thick so it can soak in. I do it out here in the sun so it can dry it. But once it's dry, it does a great job protecting. If you use, say like used motor oil from diesel, it's a little bit darker. So your wood, this just has a nice look to it with this color. But if you use diesel fuel, it turns out much darker. And I guess it would also depend on the amount of oil to diesel fuel that you do. If you just do 75% motor oil, probably going to be a lot darker. I like the way this is turning out like this color. And over the years, as you do it, it'll continue to get a little bit darker each time. And I like to move the bucket with me so that any drips, as I lift it up from the bucket before I get it on here, drip right back into the bucket. And then after I get this all on here, I'll let it just sit on here for the day to dry. I'll get it on both sides. I'll come out every so often and turn it over so it can dry on both sides. From what I understand, this is what farmers have known this little trick for years to do their fence posts, because you know, if you had a large fence and you're trying to do a stain or something on that to weatherproof it, that could get super expensive. This costs almost nothing, and it does do a great job. I would say the one drawback to it is that you don't want to lean against it or anything, because you'll get oil all over your clothes until it dries. And then you probably still don't want to, like, I wouldn't put this on my deck because you might have people walking on a deck, and then you don't want it tracked into your house. The oil is a little bit more non-forgiving than, say, a stain that dries 100%. But for something like this rail on that trailer, or like on a fence, something like that, it does great. And then after it dries, it does pretty good too. But there's sometimes it's just a little bit of residue that can wipe off, and you don't want that on your clothes. Right now I'm just getting the back side. I start on the top and get it so it doesn't drip so much. You know, get it out of the roller, and then I just roll along the sides. And it really soaks it up nice. It'll take more the first times you do it, but then it really doesn't take a whole lot to recover it every year. Places where water can get in, like the knots that it has in it, like some of these here, I like to pool it up so it can just soak into that, because that's where the water is going to pool up as well and go into it. I think this is has a lot of the same concepts as if you've ever done concrete work. A lot of times you'll spray oil on the forms for concrete because it'll release. I don't know if it's the exact same kind of oil, but probably very similar to, so that the concrete doesn't stick to it. And same type of properties on this to help keep the elements from soaking in. This side is all done. We'll let that soak on there a little bit so it's not as wet, and I'll flip it over and get the other side, and then we'll be just about done with this project. And like I say, do this about every year. It really helps keep the wood so it doesn't split and just go bad. And at the end of this video, I have one of my rails that I put on new last year on my fence. I'll show you that when I did do that with the diesel oil, and you'll be able to see how much darker the fence actually is. But I will show you that, and I need to roll some more on the one that I did last fall. Put a new rail across the top. We need to put a little bit more oil on that one for now. All right, so let me flip this over and we'll get the other side. Okay, that's looking really good. Let's let it sit for a while, let it dry. I'll flip it back over, see if the other side needs just a little bit more. We'll let that dry. And then I'll catch back up with you when we put it back on the trailer, and then I'll show you some of the fence. So we'll let this dry and I'll be right back.
2,000 years later.
Here we are at the fence. You can see this one's been here for many years. And it needs some, it's drying out. It needs some more oil on it, but you can see how dark it is in these posts compared to this newer one right here. It's quite a bit lighter. And it needs some oil. So let's go ahead and put some on here. The color of this oil doesn't seem like it's going to darken it up too much, but we won't let that stop us. All right, everybody, it has been several hours. We're clear into 4 o'clock, 10 to 5 here in the evening. This board is now in the shade. It has been sitting out all day long, and it is now dry to the touch. So what we'll do is take it back. You can see it has a nice look to it here. We'll take it back over here to where it goes, put it back on the rail of this trailer. Right down in there, down in here, get it pushed in up here. This one was a little hard coming out, so I would imagine. It's got a little bit of a twist to it, but that's what's kind of nice about having these 3 points of contact along this trailer, is it straightens it right back out, keeps it in there kind of tight. Okay, well, that is it, all in place. I'm going to put a bolt through there to make sure it doesn't accidentally fly out at some point going down the road like I've done over there on that side, you can see. Now these are protected for the remainder of this year, and then next spring I'll do this all over again. So there you have it. That's how I protect the boards, also the fence. We've gone through that. So if you'd like to do that, again, it's a 50-50 mix of 50% diesel fuel, 50% used motor oil, and it comes out a nice color and does a good job of protecting. You can put more motor oil in there if you'd like, less diesel fuel, or vice versa, depending on how light you would like it to look on the boards. Anyway, thanks for joining me on Kick It with Kendall, and we will catch you on the next one.